SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
In the headlines, Rose Place residents, fisherfolk and vendors offer relocation packages as government moves forward with the port modernization project in capital Kingstown. Jamaica opposition launches a stinging attack against the government, accusing it of corruption practices, rising crime and poverty levels. UK Supreme Court delivers a devastating defeat to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, unanimously ruling his suspension of Parliament unlawful. And in sports, Jamaica Tallawahs overcome Raymond Reefer's scare for thrilling Hero CPL win against Barbados Tridents. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV's Evening News and Sports.
That was the news headline sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Good evening and welcome to the SVG-TV Evening News and Sports for Tuesday, September 24th. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. More than 200 persons are to be affected by the construction of a new port in capital Kingstown, and public consultations have started with some of the persons in terms of resettlement. As we hear in this report by Larissa Pugsley-Kidd, the authorities are experiencing challenges as some persons are yet to come forward to claim structures in the area.
Edinburgh and Lomans are the two areas identified as relocation sites for persons living in the Rose Place area who will be affected by the construction of the new port in capital Kingstown. This is according to project coordinator of the Port Modernization Project, Lenski Douglas, who met with residents in Rose Place yesterday evening. The Port Modernization Project has a figure of 232 persons in their system who will be affected, which include vendors and the residents. At the consultation last evening, it was noted that Edinburgh will accommodate the fisherfolk community, while residents will occupy 6 acres of lands in Lomans.
They're accustomed to hearing, seeing, socializing on the beach. Now, we don't have any other location in St. Vincent, right, that we can place you back on a beach. And as a matter of fact, we can't move you from a vulnerable location and place you in another vulnerable location, right? Because currently with all of this surge here, I'm sure persons would have had some not so comfortable rest, let's say last night, and they may also be worried as to tonight with the level of surging that happened here. We also heard of the tsunami issues, right, where there would have been tsunami sensitization and persons know that the beach is very vulnerable to tsunamis and so on.
Persons entitled to a payout have the option of cashing in on a full compensation package and relocate to a place of their choice, or accept the new relocation sites, Edinburgh or Lomans, where houses will be built for them. There will also be allowances for moving, relocation and other assistance, including the setting up of utilities. In addition, there will be an economic package if a job is lost, as well as skills training opportunities.
So we're hoping that the training that we can provide you, for the fisher folk it can be, let's say, seamanship training, for the kids it could be certification level training and so on. This is a program that we will have as a part of the project to assist persons who are impacted to sort new opportunities in different areas.
A resettlement consultant from Canada, Nancy Lieutenant, said they have carried out their assessments in the areas where the port will be built, and while they have made progress, they are faced with the issue of not locating owners of some structures and emphasize the urgency to have the owners come forward.
The abandoned or unidentified structures are over 20, and this is my serious concern on this project, that we have too many unknown owners, and they have to be identified. The structures are double locked. Most of them are very, very small in size. The opinion of the valuation department is that those are storage sheds, that they are not houses, but we need to confirm each one of those. We can't gain access inside because they're triple locked, the ones that I showed in the photos.
The Caribbean Development Bank is funding the port modernization project, and resettlements are being done with the bank's regulations and is also in keeping with the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The construction of the new cargo port facility is expected to start by mid next year. Reporting for SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Meanwhile, at yesterday's consultations, there were concerns as it relates to the relocation of the fisherfolk from Rose Place to Edinburgh. While most seemed to support the move, they, however, said they would like to see proper infrastructures and facilities put in place.
Edinburgh will be a better site because we have problems still going to Lomans Bay, where we have the Petro-Vilnic situation. Right? It will be a problem. So Edinburgh will be the better place. But in putting fisher folks in Edinburgh, fisher folks would like to have something properly done for protecting the fishing boats in them, not only for now, but long term. And saying so is something like a pond to put a sea defense from the water coming ashore in from we had yesterday, to protect the boats in them from being knocked on the rock, which will be inside, and we'll have to remove a lot of those reefs inside and make the place a nice liquor pond.
What I want to know is if Edinburgh have the space to hold all the fishing boats, and like, sorry, like in hurricane time, if you have space that they could pull the boat closer to the land.
A lot of the persons who live in Rose Place connected to Atley Hall, and the possibility of a road Atley Hall to Lomans gonna be a shorter connection than if now is that you're using the main road and go Camden Park and come back to the site that you're proposing in Lomans. So I am suggesting that indirectly or direct, Atley Hall could be considered in the mix. If not the project, some other project, kind of take that into account so that you could have that connection, because one person's connect with Atley Hall already, and communication, if there's a road, will be an easier access.
The project coordinator, Lenski Douglas, assured the fisherfolk that they have plans to improve the situation in Edinburgh and will be taking their suggestions into consideration.
The obvious approach for our committee is to ensure that whatever we provide for the fisher folks can work, because what they have here is working, right? Based on previous consultations, there are a few things that would have been identified. One was just repeated by Mark. We need protection for the vessels. We not only need protection for the vessels, but we're going to need fuel for the vessels, right? And we're going to need the support facilities for the vessels, the repair, the small businesses, so that you can get your fish line, hook, and the other ancillary items that are associated with fishing. So we are mindful that currently the space would need some upgrades and adjustment and reconfiguration, and that's what our team will be working out in consultation with the fisher folks, right? Just to point out that we have fisheries. No, we will be having a fisheries representative on our resettlement committee, right? And that individual, once known, hopefully in October, we should be able to let you know who that individual is, and that individual will bring that perspective that we may not have on fisheries.
The General Secretary of the Commercial, Technical and Allied Workers Union, Joseph Burns Bonady, said Scotiabank will not exit the country until it honors the agreement it made with its employees. His comments come on the heels of reports that some workers at the bank have been engaged in a sick-out over the last 2 days over back pay for overtime work dating back to 2008. Bonady explained to SVG-TV News that after the laws were updated in 2008, it provided protections to various categories of workers and regulated work hours, which included a lunch hour. He said it was discovered that for a number of years, some employees worked for 9 hours straight instead of 8 without a lunch hour, and as such, discussions were had to regularize the work hours to fit within the law and to compensate workers. Bondy said a memorandum of understanding between the union and the bank recognizes the operation of the wage regulations order and agreed to pay the employees money owed to them for overtime and other entitlements prior to its official sale to the Republic Bank.
These employees will be compensated for these overtime hours of work by the bank in accordance with the application of the statute. The bank also acknowledges that some employees, based on the years of service, do not access applicable vacation leave entitlements, and that these employees will be compensated for those remaining outstanding entitlements by the bank in accordance with the application of the statute. The bank therefore undertakes to pay any outstanding amounts due to the employees by virtue of the foregoing, as soon as the outstanding matter in relation to the time frame for which these retroactive payments should apply is settled between the parties. In addition, the bank commits to the union to pay any outstanding amounts due to employees resulting from the foregoing prior to the official pending sale close date to Republic Bank.
The CTAWU General Secretary said as part of previous negotiations with the bank, the union agreed to accept a limit of retroactive payment of 6 to 7 years and nothing less.
With them, introduce the subject matter of a limitation period under the law, that money is owed and so on. They wanted to invoke the limitation clause, which says that you could only go back so many years. As General Secretary of the CTW, knowing the departure of Scotiabank, and under those circumstances, I told the bank that I will accept the limitation clause in this specific instance. And that limitation clause calls for payment retroactively for about either 6 or 7 years. It lies there. And that is what I will accept. Nothing less. The bank offered to pay from 2017 forward. So that means that they're not even looking at the limitation clause. So I give you in a nutshell all the facts surrounding this.
Bonady said he was informed by the bank that the institution will be pulling out of the country by the end of October and was surprised when he heard the bank will be exiting at the end of this month. He is adamant that before doing so, the bank must make all outstanding payments to employees.
That at a staff meeting, the manager informed them that the bank will be exiting at the end of September. Remember, the HR head office called me to say they're exiting in October? And now we heard they're exiting in September. So, well, I ain't too worried about that, because we already signed that you exit and name to the people the money. So that is where the situation stands at the moment. I agreed to meet again with the bank based on some intervention on Wednesday. I have not had any response whether or not that meeting is going to be taking place, but I am on standby. No, but they said they're not leaving until everything is cleared, and the other bank already indicated to us they're not coming in with any liabilities in terms of staff costs and so on. But the other thing is that we have all agreed that all the employees presently at Scotiabank will be taken on by the new bank.
54-year-old Lawrence Dabriel, a farmer of Byra, is in police custody and assisting with investigations into an incident today which left another farmer in the area with a chop wound exposing his intestines. The victim, Michael Woods, is at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, and up to news time, we were unable to get any information on his condition. Information on what led to the incident is also sketchy. However, we understand that Woods was returning from tethering his animals when he was reportedly attacked. Vincentians here at home told they need to stop being complacent about the threat of tropical storms and hurricanes to the country. This and other local stories coming up when the news returns. Stay tuned.
The local news sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Funeral service should be one that you can be proud of, one that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones, and that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. At the New Haven Funeral Home, we desire to impact positively in the industry because we recognize that a greater part of what we do is not just quality caskets or quality coffins, but quality service. We hold ourselves to a higher standard. This standard extends to all areas of our work. We accommodate all clients, regardless of circumstance, all without compromising quality. I actually get this question a lot. And although it's not the most glamorous of jobs, I love it. Because we get to help people. We get to help families when they need it the most.
New Haven Funeral Home, helping families preserve memories.
C-Star Limited is now located on the third floor of the first St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products to furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the first St. Vincent Bank building. Don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. C-Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
Your sofa sets, your mattress, your carpets, your office chairs, and car seats all hold body fluids, viruses, and bacteria that can be harmful to your health. At Howard's, we will steam clean your sofa sets, your mattress, your carpet, and your office chairs with heated dry steam that kills viruses and bacteria. Call Howard to steam clean your sofa, mattress, carpets, and chairs at 532-8855 or 451-2960. That's 532-8855 or 451-2960.
Set for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. So play as much as you can. Monthly prizes to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner, turn your own keys. Set for life.
We're celebrating 60 with the best, and bringing value home is priceless. Of course, you get the best of both the worlds. Save money and time. It's the vibes. We got prices on the low. We got it. Bring your fam to the store. We got brand courts.
Welcome back to the evening news. Climate change continues to bring with it negative environmental effects, and as such, a recommendation has been made for the development of urban forestry as a means of mitigating some of the impacts in the urban areas, including capital Kingstown. The recommendation was made by Forestry Supervisor Joel Poyer, who was at the time addressing a workshop at the Fisheries Conference Room today, hosted by the Forestry Services Department, to discuss sustainable land use and other means of adapting to climate change. Reflecting on the past, Poyer said the capital city was once picturesque with greenery and lively rivers, but is now a concrete jungle, and if measures are not taken to protect what's left of the environment, it can be destroyed. Hence the reason an urban forestry development is urgently needed.
All we see in and around Kingston is big construction building going up, but we hardly seen any green area being put in place. There's an aspect of forestry that is called urban forestry. This is the care and management of forests within the urban environment. Urban forestry advocates the role of trees as a critical part of the urban infrastructure. And we need to understand that, especially those planners. When they are planning for construction, they do not think that greenery or trees can be part of the infrastructure. But if you look in the more developed countries, most of the time, this has to be part of your development.
Poyer said along with the aesthetic benefits, an urban forest can have social, economic, and environmental impacts.
Importantly, reduce the quick runoff when we have heavy downpours of water, and it acts as an umbrella, capturing the raindrops and slowly allowing it to fall to the ground, thus reducing its impact on the soil or concrete. Social benefits. It provides shades from the sun, reduce the temperature, create biodiversity, and most of all, it is the aesthetic, the beauty, the scenery, help to change the harsh drab of just concrete that we will see. Economic benefits. It reduces fuel costs, increase the value of area, create employment, and it can encourage investment.
Director of Forestry, Fitzgerald Providence, said while there is a lot of focus on the impacts of climate change, equal importance must be placed on managing the natural environments in the urban setting. Providence warned that the changing environment has food and national security implications.
It's the invasive species that come with changing environment, and now as our world become more globalized, it impacts on food security. Seasonal changes in our fruiting and patterns can impact on our food security, and also it's national security, because climate change can cause movement of persons. I remember one of the lessons I learned in history from Dr. Earl Kirby, one of the persons who was one of my mentors as I grew into the environment field. He said, well, you know, the Kalinago and those persons probably moved with the El Nino or the La Nina effect. That's when they migrated to the other parts of from South America up to the Caribbean islands, seeing that impact of climate causing persons to move.
With just over a month before the end of the 2019 hurricane season, members of the public have been told now is not the time to let their guard down, and that they need to stop being complacent about the threat of tropical storms or hurricanes to SVG by saying the country is blessed and the storm will pass by. On his Law and You program here on SVG-TV last evening, Queen's Counsel Parnell Campbell said that Vincentians should always be prepared for every tropical storm or depression that threatens the country. With the passage of Tropical Storm Karen over the island on Sunday, Campbell thanked God for keeping everyone safe. However, he advised persons to remove all overhanging trees from their houses to avoid great damage or loss of life.
Driving around St. Vincent on the mainland, it is obvious to me that people really understand the danger posed by trees which overhang their houses or parts of their houses. Because you still see a lot of trees standing right over dwelling houses. And you say, good Lord, if those trees should be blown down, they're going to fall right on top the houses. For years now, I have been warning and pleading with people, where you have big trees, I'm not talking about a small fruit tree that might, damage a piece of galvanized and not do anything serious. I'm talking about massive trees at a higher elevation overlooking a dwelling house, such that if the tree is blown over, it has nowhere to go except on top of the house. You have a dangerous situation.
Campbell also urged persons who have trees hanging over their neighbor's property to remove them to avoid the consequences of the law if the trees cause damage to the property.
Unreasonable neighbors who refuse to heed the plea of somebody whose house is threatened by the neighbor's trees. I'm appealing to you to do something about it, because if you are asked to deal with an overhanging tree and you refuse, and somehow that tree falls and damages the neighbor's house, the neighbor who asked you will have a cause of action against you in the High Court. And you can find yourself paying a lot of money in damages for having willfully refused to deal with a threat when it was drawn to your attention.
Jamaica's opposition launches a stinging attack against the government, accusing it of corruption practices, rising crime and poverty levels. We have this from the region when we return. Stay with us.
That was a local news segment.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, drink today. Juicy, the same great taste. Juicy, the original drink. It's a Vinci thing. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vinci thing. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vinci thing.
Juicy! Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
The minute
Ministry of Tourism, Sports and Culture and the National Cultural Foundation present the National Dance Showcase, The Medley, an evening of dance featuring Vincy Dance Ensemble from Carifesta 14. Saturday, September 28th, 2019 at the Peace Memorial Hall at 7 p.m. Contribution, adults $20, children 15 years and under $10. Come, get involved, dance. This ad is sponsored by the National Cultural Foundation.
We're celebrating 60 with the best, and bringing value home is priceless. Of course, you get the best of both the worlds. Save money and time. It's the vibes. We got prices on the low. We got it. Bring your fam to the store. We got brand name items for your whole comment. We got what you need and more. It's happening in the store. Shop at Courts.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome back. In our news from the region this evening, we hear that the main opposition People's National Party in Jamaica has launched a stinging attack against the Andrew Holness-led administration, accusing the government of corrupt practices, rising crime and poverty levels. The PNP president, Dr. Peter Phillips, was addressing the party's 81st annual conference on Sunday at the National Arena in capital Kingston. We hear more in this TVJ report.
You ready, comrades? Make I hear you say wow. If you're ready to organize, say wow.
The wow factor whipping PNP supporters into a frenzy. Work, organize, win. But it didn't take long for the PNP president to launch a scathing attack on failed government policies. For Dr. Peter Phillips, it has been 3 years of despair, policy confusion and broken promises. First up, 5 in 4. The government has admitted that 5% growth in 4 years would not be possible.
Growth is 1% and falling. Instead of prosperity, what we are seeing is an increase in poverty across the land. The latest poverty numbers tell us that more than 500 Jamaicans are trying to eke out a living on $250 a day.
Another issue, crime.
The people of Jamaica have seen 7 states of emergency in 21 months as murders and shootings continue to climb. And in that same time, we have had 2 ministers of national security, 3 commissioners of police, and we still can't get a crime plan that the country can line up behind.
Dr. Phillips made reference to last week's extension of the state of emergency in Clarendon and St. Catherine. The government wanted a 90-day extension. After the opposition disagreed, both parties compromised on a 30-day extension to October 19.
We tell them that we want the information about the number of people who get charged of those who are detained, about the number of gangs that them dismantling. But we also tell them we need to have a dialogue with the rest of the country. We agree, me and the Prime Minister, agree from January that we're going to meet with stakeholders. All know the meeting can't keep.
Meanwhile, with allegations of corruption still gripping the Education Ministry and the Caribbean Maritime University, the PNP president sounded a warning.
We're not going to stand by and say those who are corrupt go unpunished. We expect arrests to be made. minister forget arrest, former minister forget arrest, high official to get arrest, low official forget arrest, connected party people to get arrest. We expect the police to do their job.
The Commonwealth Group of Companies has joined the United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union in calling on Guyana's President, David Granger, to set a date for general elections, now that the Elections Commission has indicated that it will be ready by the end of February next year. We hear more in this report from News Source Guyana.
In an early morning statement, the Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland urged President David Granger and all relevant stakeholders and institutions to restore constitutional rule in Guyana by immediately setting an early date for elections in consonance with its constitution, enabling elections to be held without any further delay. The Secretary General said she has taken note of the 18th of June 2019 ruling of the Caribbean Court of Justice and its consequential orders of the 12th of July 2019. She said the CCJ's ruling was clear that the Guyana Constitution sets out certain requirements for the time of an election after the valid passing of a no-confidence motion. She said the rule of law and constitutional governance are fundamental Commonwealth values to which Guyana has subscribed. The Commonwealth Secretary General said a general election in Guyana is now constitutionally overdue, and the general election should be held in accordance with the unambiguous constitutional imperative to do so. She said she has spoken with the chair of the Guyana Elections Commission and has discussed Commonwealth support to GCOM. President David Granger on Sunday told reporters he will be meeting his cabinet tomorrow to further discuss announcing a date for elections.
I've already, when I left Pegasus Hotel, I went straight into a cabinet meeting. Some ministers were traveling, so we have had the first cabinet meeting, regardless of what other misinformed media outlets said. We have had it first, and it will be coming up again. The Prime Minister was there, Minister of Public Security was there, the two ministers who were affected by the hooliganism were there, but the fuller cabinet will meet again on Tuesday. But they've received, I've given them copies.
This week?
Yes, definitely. This is urgent.
The President has said it is the Elections Commission and not the executive that is charged with the hosting of elections. He said he will be naming a date soon. President Granger also said he has been following the Constitution and the orders of the Caribbean Court of Justice.
The UK Supreme Court delivers a devastating defeat to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, unanimously ruling his suspension of Parliament unlawful. This from the international scene when we return after this.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
At RE/MAX, we know you want to sell your property at top dollar and as fast as possible. To help you sell at top dollar, all of our agents are trained to negotiate the highest possible price for your property. And to sell as fast as possible, our agents can access over 120,000 agents around the globe, which results in more potential buyers. This is why nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Contact your RE/MAX agent today and get your property sold.
26 retail shops and restaurants open now for your convenience. At the cruise ship terminal. At the cruise ship terminal. It's a great venue to run for functions. Secure parking, great ambiance. At the cruise ship terminal. At the cruise ship terminal.
Convenient parking at the Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal and the Geese Compound. The Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal has 26 retail shops and restaurants with a variety of food offerings. A great secure venue for your function with a great ambience. Also, we offer lock storage service. The Cruise Ship Terminal. Convenience for you.
At the cruise ship terminal. The cruise ship terminal.
celebrating 60 with the best, and bringing value home is priceless. Of course, you get the best of both the worlds. Save money and time. It's the vibes. We got prices on the low. We got it. Bring your fam to the store. We got brand name items for your whole comment. We got what you need and more. It's happening in the store. Shop at Courts.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Carez Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Carez Distribution Limited.
And now we go further afield. The UK Supreme Court ruled today that Prime Minister Boris Johnson's decision to shut down Parliament in the run-up to Brexit was unlawful. But a defiant Johnson said he disagreed and vowed that Britain will leave the EU by October 31st, come what may. This stinging judgment by all 11 of the court's sitting justices undermines Johnson's already fragile grip on power and gives legislators more scope to try to stop him from taking Britain out of the bloc next month, with or without a divorce deal. We hear more in this report.
Outside the Supreme Court, the anti-Brexit demonstrators were in optimistic mood. Inside, the judges delivered their devastating ruling with calm deliberation. At issue, whether Prime Minister Boris Johnson suspended Parliament lawfully or simply to prevent Parliament from holding his government to account.
The effect on the fundamentals of our democracy was extreme. No justification for taking action with such an extreme effect has been put before the court. The court is bound to conclude, therefore, that the decision to advise Her Majesty to prorogue Parliament was unlawful because it had the effect of frustrating or preventing the ability of Parliament to carry out its constitutional functions without reasonable justification.
This case went to the fundamental issue of the very nature of democracy here in the United Kingdom. And it was a stress test, if you like, of the separation of powers between the three branches of government. But this conflict is far from over. The outcome is a vindication for Gina Miller, the campaigner who has fought the government for the past 3 years to uphold the law on Brexit.
Today is not a win for any individual or cause. It's a win for parliamentary sovereignty, the separation of powers and the independence of our British courts.
News of the court's decision prompted a standing ovation from delegates at the opposition Labour Party conference, where the party leader was on his feet at the time.
The Supreme Court has just announced its decision. And it shows that the Prime Minister has acted wrongly in shutting down Parliament.
As demand for Parliament to be recalled gathered pace, the Speaker of the lower house stepped in.
I have instructed the House authorities to prepare, not for the recall, the prorogation was unlawful and is void, to prepare for the resumption of the business of the House of Commons.
Prime Minister Johnson received the news in New York, where he's attending the UN General Assembly. He said he disagreed with the ruling, but would respect it.
And the main thing is, look, we're going to get on and deliver Brexit on October the 31st. Yes, of course, Parliament will now have to come back, but we'll respect that and get on with it.
Back in London, though, his position is now in question. Parliament will resume on Wednesday morning. It promises to be a tumultuous return.
Well, that's our news for this evening. We have sports just ahead, right after we take a look at tonight's local weather forecast, which is next.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Carez Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents, and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Curates Distribution Limited.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. Then came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
The current weather conditions are cloudy, winds are calm, temperature 28.2 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 83%. Barometric pressure 1013.6 millibars. No rainfall was recorded over the last 24 hours. The maximum temperature today 30.8 degrees Celsius, the minimum temperature 26.8. Sunset today was at 5:58 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:53 a.m. The forecast for tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy with a chance of occasional showers and isolated thunderstorms. The synopsis says a weak surface to mid-level ridge pattern will be the dominant feature over the islands.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Singer is a family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances, TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture. Right here at Singer. Affordable beds and mattresses. Right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store that gives you the best hire purchase deals. Right here at Singer. We'll outfit your home. Right here at Singer. The #1 family store. It's us with Singer.
SVG-TV Sports, sponsored by Remax Results Realty.
Remax Results Realty proudly presents this modern 4-bedroom home located in the premier neighborhood of Cane Garden. Built in 2005, it features an open design, circular stairway, and amazing views of the Grenadine Islands. For additional information, we invite you to visit our website at svghomesandland.com or call our offices in Diamond at 784-456-2016.
On now to the evening sports. We hear that the Jamaica Tallawahs picked up just their second win of the 2019 Hero Caribbean Premier League CPL after successfully defending 127 all-out to stun the Tridents of Barbados by 5 runs in a thriller at the Kensington Oval last evening. There appeared to be little hope for the Tallawahs after a largely disappointing effort with the bat, but the Tridents found themselves behind the required run rate at the halfway stage of the match, and as the pressure grew, the wickets started to fall. Shamar Springer took 3 for 32 and Imran Khan had 3 for 19 as the Tallawahs kept their slim Hero CPL playoff hopes alive with an unlikely win. On Saturday in the 2019 Caesars Real Estate Hiram Bear Flow Nafrandem Greg's T20 softball cricket competition, 2 games were played where in the first game Sign Hill Talawas defeated Israel Bruce Smashers by 35 runs. Sign Hill Talawas batted first and made 131 runs all out in 18 overs. Israel Bruce Smashers then batted and made 96 runs all out in 16. The second match saw Belair Sunset Strikers defeating Red Lions by a massive 153 runs. Sunset Strikers batted first and made 245 runs for 3 wickets in 17 overs. Red Lions, in reply, made 92 for 8, also in 17 overs. All 3 games on Sunday were postponed due to the storm warning that was in effect and will be rescheduled. Only 1 match was possible last weekend in the SVG Masters T20 Cricket Championship due to the threat of Tropical Storm Karen. That match took place on Saturday at the Arnesville Sports Complex between Brown's Stubbs Masters and Digicel Cato Heavy Equipment Glamorgan Masters. Stubbs Masters won the match by 22 runs, having amassed 165 for 4 off 20 overs, while Glamorgan Masters scored 143 for 6 off 20. The evening sports will continue in a moment. Stay with us.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
We're celebrating 60 with the best, and bringing value home is priceless. Of course, you get the best of both the worlds. Save money and time. It's the vibes. We got prices on the low. We got it. Bring your fam to the store. We got brand name items for your whole comment. We got what you need and more. It's happening in the store. Shop at Courts.
Welcome back. In the Sagicor Hyrule Southeast Community Football Championship yesterday afternoon, KQ Mavericks defeated Diamond 5-2 at the Stubbs playing field. Errol Hector netted a hat-trick and Valdo Anderson scored a brace for KQ Mavericks, while the goals for Diamond were converted by Keeson Rouse and Zidane Solomon. Barcelona's Lionel Messi has won the Best Men's Player at the Best FIFA Football Awards in Milan, as Juventus's Cristiano Ronaldo and Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk missed out on the top prize. It is the 6th time that Messi has been voted the world's best after wins in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 and 2015. The 32-year-old Argentine helped Barcelona win La Liga and reach the semi-finals of the Champions League. The United States forward Megan Rapinoe won the best award. That should be the Best Women's Player award. Andy Murray earned his first singles victory at tour level since January with a 3-set win over Tennis Sandgren in the first round of the Zhuhai Championship in China. Murray continued his comeback from hip resurfacing surgery by winning 6-3, 6-7, 6-8, 6-1. Defeating the world number 69 showed progress from Murray, having lost to the same man in North Carolina in August. And that's how we end our sports for this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
SVG-TV Sports was sponsored by Remax Results Realty.
Remax Results Realty proudly presents a 2-story home that behaves like a 1-story. But there is loads of space downstairs for a 3rd-bedroom apartment with large eat-in kitchen, living room, and 2 baths. Located in the Argyle-Yamboo area, it boasts great views of the sea and airport. For additional information, we invite you to visit our website at svghomesandland.com or call our offices in Diamond, 784-456-2016.
A funeral is considered as a last goodbye. The memories are for you, the family, and loved ones. Joseph the Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home sympathizes and understands the grieving process. They go the extra mile, offering counseling, private funeral, chapel service, night viewing, and church service, along with other services expected at a professional funeral home. Visit the office at Mesopotamia. A warm, modern, and customer-friendly environment awaits you. Joseph the Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, offering affordability in time of need. We are here. We care.
We're celebrating 60 with the best, and bringing value home is priceless. Of course, you get the best of both the worlds. Save money and time. It's the vibes. We got prices on the low. We got it. Bring your fam to the store. We got brand name items for your whole comment. We got what you need and more. It's happening in the store. Shop at Courts.
And now we take a second look at the headlines for this evening. Rose Place residents, fisherfolk, and vendors offered relocation packages as government moves forward with the port modernization project in capital Kingstown. Jamaica opposition launches a stinging attack against the government, accusing it of corruption practices and rising crime and poverty levels. UK Supreme Court delivers a devastating defeat to Prime Minister Boris Johnson, unanimously ruling his suspension of Parliament as unlawful. And in sports, the Jamaica Tallawahs overcome a Raymond Reefer scare for a thrilling Hero CPL win against the Barbados Tridents. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. Don't forget you can visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and for daily headlines. And also, tune in for SVG-TV's News in 15 at 12:45 p.m. weekdays. Until next time, I'm Khalil Kato. Good evening.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. Then came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Shot for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prizes to be won. Set for life. A brand new home. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner. Turn your own keys. Set for life.
We're celebrating 60 with the best, and bringing value home is priceless. Of course, you get the best of both the worlds. Save money and time. It's the vibes. We got prices on the low. We got it. Bring your fam to the store. We got brand name items for your whole comment. We got what you need and more. It's happening in the store. Shop at Courts.
A new in
home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends.